G'day guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I got a really special one for you. I'm going to show a little snippet of me and TSG's chat we had about a week ago about this dimensional stability clip, and then I'm going to divert by myself and give you a little bit more insight into how this is going to work and how it's going to affect your gameplay when the overworld comes out. But first off, we're going to watch this, so stick around for the whole video so you don't miss out on anything.
Yo, I just want to say, how beautiful did that look, though, man? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's second to none. And as we talked about the audio, that, and then the lore to come, like we know no lore. That's going to add to that AAA factor of the whole game. But with the dimensional stability, obviously with Pokemon, you try and catch them, and every now and again they might just flee for no reason. You'd never know when they're going to flee.
Yep.
With this, you might be able to judge it. You try and catch the heavy one and you see how much it comes in. You go, oh, shit, I've got one or two more chances here. I better go hard, or I can try a lesser shard. I think they do say the higher shard or the higher tier Illuvium, you try and catch it, really disrupts it more and more. But like, this is a sick idea, and to add the music and you just feel more intense. And
yeah,
I think they do talk about that the game is really engineered towards streamers and people watching other people play the game and stressing over, am I going to get this? Like, keyboards are going to be broken over this shit. Like,
yeah,
you agree with all this? Like, does it give you that feeling?
I think essentially what they're doing, and I'm sure they know they're doing this, whether they're using the same words or not in internal meetings, I don't know. But what they're doing is they're creating a sense of urgency, right? And that psychologically it just has very fascinating effects. Like, the one time that I can kind of feel that in the game that I can recall right now was in Pokemon Ruby Sapphire, when I was trying to catch Latios, right? Like the legendary birds in that game. Like, essentially they would have, it was a long time ago, I might be wrong, but essentially you would find them and then you'd have 2 turns to try and like capture them, or like put them to sleep or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And once those 2 turns were done, they would go. And that anticipation of, yo, I need to get this done now, is a strong feeling. And as a viewer, watching someone have that feeling, especially if you're invested in it, you're gonna be like, yo, man, go, go, go. The thing that's different with this compared to the example I just gave you, we know that in that situation it was 2 turns.
2 turns.
We know that. Yeah. So now you've created a sense of urgency and a sense of randomness. And now you've created urgency in a random situation. That's going to add so much more pressure and feeling of like, yo, man, shit, am I going to mess this up? Yo, like, it's just going to...
You got a Dark Hollow Ramfire there, and you're like, fuck, I've only got... Do I have 1 turn? Do I have 3 turns? Do I have 5?
Man, don't fuck this up. And then you have that second chance, and you're like, oh my God, let's go, let's go, let's go. And like, it's just that feeling already, right? You can kind of sense the kind of feeling. And if you're watching it, and especially for like, I think what they're doing, like how they say they've built this for streamers, not for streamers, but for streamers in mind. I think it's incredible, because once you get those really charismatic streamers, those really like engaging streamers, where you see them, jumping up and down, be like, oh, yo, and people get really invested in that shit, that's content right there. That's
mainstream too.
That's marketing. That's like, they've pretty much built. Like, they've inbuilt marketing.
Itself.
Correct. And it's genius. It's genius. Yeah.
I don't expect anything less.
So, welcome back. So, I'm going to do a quick run through of the series of events that I would expect to see if you were going to travel into the overworld. So, first is obviously you pick your region, and then you travel to your region. You explore that overworld and try and find the wakes, which you shoot in the center to then turn them into a singularity. You go over to them and then you scan them, or you directly encounter them to go into a battle. Once you enter the battle, then you choose which alluvials you're going to put out on the board and use a certain amount of mastery points to attack the opposite, or to attack the enemy. Once you've finished attacking the enemy, you either lose and get sent back to the start or to another checkpoint within the overworld, or when you win. When you win, this is where the dimensional stability comes into play. This is all structured off how many mastery points you have used. The fewer mastery points you have used, the better integrity of the dimensional stability. The more mastery points you lose, the more unstable it is, and the less the time/attempts you have to capture the Illuvials. So when the board comes up, you'll have the Illuvials you've just beaten. You pick which one you want to capture. You throw out your shard or do the shard placement that you do. The higher the tier shard, the more that it breaks down the dimensional stability if you don't capture it, and even if you do capture it, it still breaks it down because you may be spat back out to try and catch the other Illuvials. If you didn't capture it first go, then you either get spat out and the dimensional stability is broken, or you may get one other go, you may get two other goes. It depends how much of the dimensional stability has been broken during this shard capturing event. Obviously, once you're done there, dimensional stability is gone, or you decide to leave, then you're just spat back out where that singularity was, and you proceed on to the next wake. So I'm going to go across to some Discord messages that Aaron has written about this. So as I just explained before, the higher the mastery cost, the more unstable it is. The easier it is to defeat, but the less time to capture. When you were kids, you had to choose your own adventure. We have choose your own ass clencher. I've shown this before on Illuvium News a few weeks ago when it first happened, or when it first came out. But as you're saying there, you can put out 100 points worth of mastery, like use all the mastery points, and you will definitely beat the opposition. But you'll probably have 0 chances to capture, or maybe 1 chance to capture whatever's on the opposite board. So if you don't really want to capture any Illuvials that you're against, just put them all out and just defeat them. It doesn't matter. But if you really want one of the opposition, just put out enough to make sure you beat them, but not so much that your dimensional stability will be absolutely ruined by the time you beat them. So it's going to be a little bit of a risk over reward kind of factor. You're going to really have to think about what Illuvials do I need to place, or the minimal amount of Illuvials and augments do I have to place to beat this opposition. Sometimes you may have to use all the mastery points just to make sure you beat it. Maybe there's a Dark Hollow Ramfire on the other side, and well, I need to make sure that I'm getting to an actual chance to capture it rather than it just defeating me. So I'm sure as the game goes on, people are going to find out the best ways to win at the most minimal time. It's all about that min-maxing, as most gamers would understand from previous games. So we'll move on. We've got 2 other quotes from Aaron. Imagine you encounter a Dark Hollow and you try to deploy fewer units to max your dimensional stability, and you end up losing. Keyboard meets wall. So I'm pretty sure Kieran said that first person on stream, or first big streamer that breaks a keyboard, he'll personally reimburse. I think we'll hold him to that. So as me and TSG said, this game is really being engineered towards people streaming it, and the watchability for everyone else to come in and just watch everyone play this game and get excited and feel like you're there with them. The dimensional stability just adds to that. The audio really emphasizes the urge that it needs to be done now. It's putting pressure on you. It's random. It's everyone's hearts are going to be in their throats if people find Dark Hollows of certain Illuvials, or really any Illuvial. So and then he goes on to say here, he doubts that many encounters will end up with, say, 8 captures. So looking at that, you are not going to have many chances at catching, no matter how many Illuvials you throw out there. I'd say most will be way less than 8. There'll probably be 3 or 4 when you get into the higher range of tiers of Illuvials, and you're going to throw out higher tier shards where it's just breaking down the dimensional stability more and more every time you throw out a shard. So essentially, for a Dark Hollow, you may only get either 1 or 2 chances at a shard. Like, this is a very, very low chance. No one knows what the capture rates are going to be, but I'd say they'd be very low. This is going to make these Dark Hollows very, very rare, but they should be very rare. So as we can see here, I've brought up this video that was in the Leaks channel a few days ago. I feel like it was more about showing off Ramfire's Omega ability, but as you can see, the board, it's starting to disappear. I don't feel like many people asked many questions about this, but I'm having a stab in the dark here that this may be a part of the dimensional stability. So it just adds to it that extra feature. You got the big bubble around you starting to enclose on you as the dimensional stability is breaking. The music starting to get into your ears, and then the board's starting to fade away. With all of these things combined, you're really going to be pulling people's heartstrings and really getting the emotions of everyone. Like, I can imagine myself there trying to catch this Ramfire, and I just see the board disappearing. I'm getting more anxious. Am I going to catch it this time? Am I going to have another go? Like, it's going to be a massive game breaker, and I think this is going to be one of the major plays as to why Illuvium is going to be thought of well into the future. As me and TSG talked about, Pokemon has the 3 wobbles of the Pokeball. Illuvium has the dimensional stability. This is just revamping it and making it into the next level. I cannot wait to jump into the overworld and just experience this capture flow that they've been talking about. They keep on hinting on what it's going to be a part of and how good it's going to be, and I don't doubt that it's going to be the best capture flow ever. And from what we know, just from the dimensional stability, the audio, maybe this board breaking away, you only got a couple of chances. Like, I cannot see that it's going to fail. So I feel like that's everything that I know about the dimensional stability. I'm sure that we're going to get more and more come out as we get closer to getting the capture flow done. As soon as that capture flow is done and out, I will definitely be doing a video on that. But for now, this is everything that I know about the dimensional stability. Hopefully this has helped you know a little bit more about what's going to happen after you win the battle on your overworld events. If I've helped you out, or if you've liked what you listened to, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you in a video soon.